I'm Dr. Jeff Kieliszewski, forensic psychologist. Today is Friday. That's my out in the field day. Fridays is usually the day where I go to prisons or jails. Once a month I go to a residential adolescent sex offender treatment unit, do evaluations there. If I have probate work, I might be in a hospital or a long-term care home evaluating someone. Today I'm at a jail. Let me see if I can give you a look. You see, in the old days, before we all had phones in our camera and access to Google Earth, there used to be big signs outside of jails and prisons that would say absolutely no camera or taking photos of the jail. Why? Because they were concerned that people would use those photos to try to figure out security breaches. So I get asked a question a lot of times: what's it really like going into prisons or jails for your job? The answer is it varies quite a bit based on the institution. So, for example, the first part is just getting into the institution. Some places that I visit to evaluate people, they need to put me on a visiting list where I'm approved by the probation officer. If I see federal inmates, they need to get approval from the Marshal's Service every time I see that inmate. Some places I have to submit lien paperwork, which is kind of a criminal background check. Other places where I go a lot, there's a few places where they've just decided to give me a standing security clearance. And in some of these places, I don't even have to set an appointment to see the person. I can just walk in if I've got a few hours. That's really nice. Now, entering the facility a lot of times varies as well. Some facilities I go in, they make me go through a metal detector, and they'll go through all your files. Some places pat you down. Some places you have to take your shoes and socks off, and they look at the bottom of your bare feet to make sure that you're not smuggling anything in. And then other places, it's, hey, doc, how's it going? Come on in. Now, usually the county jails is where it varies a lot from county to county. State prisons are usually pretty uniform in their procedures, but you will see if you have a warden that's of a certain type, they make you go through a lot more. Now, once you're in the facility, that can vary quite a bit too. So at some places, I may actually go right onto a living unit and be in a consult room with correction officers right outside the door. And usually when you're in those rooms, by the way, all prisons and jails, the doors have glass in them so they can see in. Some places, they may take you down a long hall with the inmate and you're locked alone in the room with the defendant, and there's a panic button on the wall. Some places, they'll put you in a room, lock you in a room, and the defendant's chained to the table or chained to the floor as a standard practice. Some places they make you wear a body alarm. The other part about it is you need to have an understanding of correctional security. And most of us who are practicing forensic psychologists have worked in institutions. So we know the whole idea about contraband. And when the defendant says, hey, can I have that pencil that I used for my psych testing? You don't give him the pencil because he might stick it in a correction officer's chest after he leaves the room. Also, the other little things you learn working in institutions like this, for example, when you're in a room with someone, your back is to the door, not the defendant's back. In case you are attacked, it's easier for you to get out the door. Over the past 20 years that I've been going to jails and prison, things have changed a lot. I would say that security measures are much, much better now than they were in the past. In the old days, 20 years ago, sometimes I'd be walking right through the middle of the prison, past those big galleries of 5 stories of people yelling things at me. Now, most of the time when I go into these facilities, there's a separate area that's dedicated to professional visits. The other big change I've seen in 20 years is the professionalism of the correction officers. The professionalism is much, much better than it was in the past. And I just, when I was thinking about doing this video, I just remembered I used to go to a jail. It was about 45 minutes north of my office in a rural area. And this place, we're talking good old boys. You'd buzz, they'd walk you in, or you'd buzz and you just walk right in, and they'd be in the control center where they have all the monitoring, and there's a piece of cardboard across the latch in the door, and they'd be in there, feet up, watching Price is Right. In this particular place, it'd be Friday, and the one officer would say, "Doc, it's bacon day. You want some bacon?" And they'd have a whole plate of bacon. Those days are gone now. There's a lot more good procedure and a higher degree of professionalism in the correction officers nowadays. So that's my video about what it's like coming to jails for your job. If you're interested in forensic psychology, follow me here. Also, check out my YouTube channel where I have several videos on a variety of topics on forensic psychology. It's all under Dr. Jeff Kieliszewski, forensic psychologist.